Hey everybody, it's Chase again with American Vintage Adventures, and today we are here continuing our series of AVA's Guide to. And today it is AVA's Guide to Disney World Magic Kingdom Liberty Square Edition. So we are going to give you a complete guided tour of Liberty Square, all the sights, sounds, the facts, the interesting tidbits of information that you can use to impress your friends and family, all the little hidden Easter eggs, everything that you can find in Liberty Square, and of course the rides, and of course everybody's favorite ride in Liberty Square, the Haunted Mansion. And all of the little secrets and behind the scenes stuff that goes along with the Haunted Mansion. I am going to bring it all to you in my AVA's Guide to Disney World Magic Kingdom Liberty Square Edition. All right, I got you. Let's go do this. Now, there may be no other Walt Disney World ride that has taken on a life of its own, a cult following of its own, to the extent that Haunted Mansion has. I mean, the stories, the wallpaper, everything, the Hatbox Ghost that's coming, the stories about it being designed, going back to Disneyland, when they were trying to design it, to stories of people emptying their ashes of their dearly departed in the ride. There is so much folklore, so much history, and such a cult following over this ride, and Memento Mori is the place to come when you're in Liberty Square to get you a little piece of that Haunted Mansion magic to take home with you. Inside Memento Mori, you can find everything from lighted Haunted Mansion chess sets to t-shirts, lounge flies. You can even find commemorative e-tickets to the ride, original Disneyland e-tickets. You can find anything you want to increase your fandom here at Memento Mori. Haunted Mansion is, I'm smiling because it is one of my all-time favorites. I make horror movies, so there's no way that I can do a guide to Liberty Square without going in detail about Haunted Mansion and Memento Mori. So let's get a little bit more into it, and I'm going to show you guys around Memento Mori, give you a little look at some of the stuff I just mentioned. We are going to make our way into Memento Mori for a tour with a view. Somewhere in this mirror is a ghost.
Yeah, we're also collecting real ghosts to bring you. You believe in ghosts, don't you, Julie?
No.
You don't?
Not really.
Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Haunted Mansion.
Of course it's lovely. You enjoyed
So there is so many Easter eggs, so much stuff about the Haunted Mansion that it could be a video in itself. Everything from having playful nods to Imagineers and other characters on the tombstones in the graveyard out here.
And Mark Davis is the master in charge of our House of Illusions, or what do we call it?
A Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion and Supernatural.
Even the shout out to Mr. Toad and his wild ride that Winnie the Pooh took over. May it rest in peace. It's in the graveyard. There are all kinds of Easter eggs like that. Things all through here. We owe two master Imagineers for this ride. One supplied the comedy side, and the other supplied the weird and scary, and that's more what I want to focus on. That's Raleigh Crump, who just passed away. He's one of my favorite Imagineers. Like I said, I make horror movies, and he had that sort of weird personality and creative imagination that even kept Walt up at night sometimes, like when he showed him the first ideas that he had for the Haunted Mansion. Walt came and talked to him the next day and said, "Damn you, Raleigh, I couldn't sleep all night long. Those ideas have kept me awake. We have to do it."
The next morning, I came to work at 7 o'clock, Walt sitting in my chair, and he said, "You son of a bitch." And I said, "What?" He says, "I didn't get any sleep last night because of all that weird stuff you showed me."
So I really love Raleigh Crump. He's done a lot of things that other people have gotten some of the credit for. He was really the key one who made It's a Small World happen. But his fingerprints are all over the Haunted Mansion, and I really love this ride. You can't come to Liberty Square without riding the Haunted Mansion. We're going to go ride it right now.
Practicing their terror with ghoulish delight.
The cobwebs that they actually take down and clean every so often, that are made with hot glue. Or a hot glue-like substance that all of our dead skin cells and hair cells stick to.
Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Haunted Mansion. I am your host, your ghost host.
Okay, she always creeps me out. Spooky. Alright, so here's a little bit of a tidbit of information for you. When you go through the attic and see the bride, and then you tilt backwards going down into the graveyard, you actually have fallen out of the attic window and died. And that is why now the ghosts actually acknowledge you in the graveyard. Before that, they do not acknowledge you. They only acknowledge your sympathetic vibes. But once you fall out that window, that attic window, backwards and die, now they know that you are here. Another interesting tidbit is that the voice you hear up here is
"Hurry back, hurry back."
that of the original Leota Tombs and the face of Leota Tombs. Another thing is Grim Grinning Ghost is the only song that you hear of this entire ride. It's just either slowed way down or it's sped way up. It actually is slowed at the very beginning and speeds up through the whole ride, but you only ever hear Grim Grinning Ghosts. And back there, at the very back of the animal graveyard, is Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Sadly, not as popular as Winnie the Pooh. That's the shout out to Mr. Toad's Wild Ride getting shut down and replaced with The Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, the old real estate mogul himself. We could go on and on and on about the Haunted Mansion. As I mentioned, it could be a video unto itself, but it is a big part of the AVA guide to Liberty Square. And that horn that you keep hearing back there is the Liberty Bell Riverboat, which is an OG ride and can take you around the rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island. Now I am right outside of Columbia Harbor House, which is probably one of the better quick service restaurants in all of Magic Kingdom, and it's here in Liberty Square. They have everything from seafood, they have shrimp sandwiches, they have chicken sandwiches, they have chicken fingers, they have great hush puppies, and they have great clam chowder, specifically in their bread bowl. I've talked about it in another video. Right now it's themed to the Haunted Mansion. It's called Spoon for One More instead of Room for One More. But it is definitely a big serving, and no guide to Liberty Square is complete without a trip to the Columbia Harbor House. So we're gonna go in here. I'm gonna show you the clam chowder bread bowl that I like so much, and I'm gonna give you a quick look around the restaurant. It has those, I don't know, those old school like New England sea town vibes to it, with the wood and the brass, and of course the selling of the seafood and things like that. But it is a really cool place to go if you're spending your day, if you're spending a lot of time in Liberty Square. You have to check out Columbia Harbor House. We're gonna go take a look around right now. So I have made my way over to Columbia Harbor House to get the clam chowder bread bowl. Now this bread bowl is $7.49, and it is listed as a side, but as you can see, it is huge. I have big hands. It's bigger than my hand. It is a big portion for that amount of money. It's a good clam chowder. I know that's something that's hot, and when you're hot, that's not always your favorite thing. But if you're really hungry and you want to come into a cool restaurant and have something that is themed to the area and part of the fun, and is going to hold you over and really fill you up for a low price, I really, really recommend the clam chowder bread bowl at Columbia Harbor House. Now, you may have noticed that there is a brownish river-like pathway going through the center of the grounds in Liberty Square. Well, there's a reason for that. And it's sort of a messy one. So the story is that it is representative of waste flowing in the streets that was common in the colonial times, basically in early America, when they didn't have indoor plumbing in the cities, and they just poured out their waste buckets onto the ground. That is also said to be the reason that there are no restrooms in Liberty Square. That only inside the restaurants like Liberty Tree do they have bathrooms, and those are actually so far back in the buildings that they actually reside in another land. So they don't have restrooms here to mimic that time. So if you want to go to the restroom, you better hit Frontierland or Adventureland, or go on out the other side and hit the Tangled bathrooms, because in Liberty Square, you're not going to find anywhere to go to the bathroom. Here in Liberty Square, you can also find a replica, full-size replica copy of the Liberty Bell, which is right over here behind me. You know, it just adds to the theming, it adds to the immersive nature of the land, and it is a great photo opportunity because it is an identical replica of the Liberty Bell. So a lot of people just walk past it pretty quick and don't check it out. Stop, check it out. There's some interesting facts over here on the flagpoles, some interesting history, and you can get a great picture. And if you crop it in close enough, this day and age with Photoshop, you can always fool your friends and tell them that you went and saw the actual Liberty Bell. Besides the Haunted Mansion, my favorite other attraction here, well, to be fair, I guess it's really the only other attraction besides the Liberty Bell boat, and Tom Sawyer's Island is a little bit separate, so we're not counting that in Liberty Square for our guide today. But the Hall of Presidents is classic Disney, it's quintessential Disney. I talked about it in another video on what is quintessential Disney, and the Hall of Presidents is so full of history, and it is synonymous with Disney. It goes back to great moments with Mr. Lincoln and the first animatronic that was Lincoln, that was so lifelike people actually threw things at it. You have all of the presidents, past presidents and current president, on display here in animatronic, plus a show. And in my opinion, you can't come and take a guided tour through Liberty Square or a day to Disney World without checking out the Hall of Presidents. Let's go check it out. Now, one little interesting tidbit that I wanted to come in here and show you is this seal, the Great Seal of the United States. This was actually given to Walt Disney World, and it is one of two just like it, and it is an official seal and was officially used and then donated to Disney. That's some pretty cool history. Now, let's go check out the show. And while we wait, I'll show you guys around a little bit of the collection they have in here.
That this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
How cool is that? Hall of Presidents is always one of my favorites. It's a great show. You get to see all of your favorite presidents and maybe some of your not so favorite presidents. You get a little bit of history of America, and you get some authentic historical artifacts like that Great Seal. I mean, what could be better than that? You got to put that in your little guidebook, impress your friends, and go in there and get into the spirit of America. Now let's check out more of Liberty Square. Now, if you know me, you know that my favorite time of year is the fall, because in the fall you have Halloween, you have football, you have Thanksgiving, and you have Christmas. That is my favorite. Christmas, I know it's the first couple of days of winter, but for all intents and purposes, the whole lead up to Christmas, the decorations, everything are in the fall. So over here in Liberty Square, you have one of my favorite shops to go in, and I usually get something from it at least once a year. That is the Christmas shop, where it is year-round Christmas. Let's go check it out.
All right, bye, Jack.
We'll go in a different thing. No, we'll go in a different thing. Yeah, I know, you're going to want a lot of things right now.
In the Christmas shop, it is Christmas all year long. You can still do things like get your name put on Mickey ears, on Christmas ornaments. They have artists in there that will still do that. You can have it shipped to you at home, at your hotel, or you can carry it around with you. Of course, they have all the great limited edition ornaments. They've got everything that you could possibly want to celebrate a Disney-style Christmas, and it's all found right here in Liberty Square. Continuing our guide through Liberty Square is stop at one of my favorite places to grab a sweet treat here in Liberty Square, and that is Sleepy Hollow. And here they have my favorite thing that you can get at breakfast if you come in and get a light breakfast, or if you want a dessert, maybe capper at the end of the night. It is the hazelnut waffle with all the fresh fruit in it. And when I say all the fresh fruit, I'm talking blueberries, bananas, strawberries, a generous amount of hazelnut or Nutella, I say Nutella, spread, and a really delicious waffle. It's a great treat here. If I can guide you on my AVA guide to Liberty Square to any one stop that's not an attraction, that you can have a lot of fun and leave smiling, it's Sleepy Hollow with the hazelnut fruit waffle. More artist work over here at the entrance to Liberty Square off of the main hub. You can get your caricature done, or you can get an old-fashioned silhouette like you would have seen hanging on your grandmother or great-grandmother's wall. Lots of fun. Looks like the silhouettes are $12 or $13.95 with a frame, and caricatures range from $18.95 to $37.90. That's just another little fun thing that you can do over here in Liberty Square. It can help support an artist while also being a little bit of a filler in the middle of the day and giving you an awesome memory to take home with you. What is it? A tangible memory? I think I heard that they tell the cast members to say it's a tangible memory. And you can take it home with you and enjoy it. Caricatures are always fun. I still have one from a long time ago, and I laugh every time I see it. But that's just something else you can do here in Liberty Square, Magic Kingdom. The River Bell landing, you can get on the River Bell. It will take you around Tom Sawyer's Island. You will have a beautiful and different view of some things that you don't normally see. It takes you about 20 minutes to ride it. So that's another good little thing to do in the heat of the day, maybe when your feet need a rest, when everybody needs a minute to calm down and chill out. And it's a classic. It's a classic. And so it's definitely part of our guide here to Liberty Square. So a few fun facts about Liberty Square. One is that as you walk through Liberty Square, we're beginning in Frontierland, the time progression mimics the building progression, or the building progression mimics the time progression. So as you go from the beginning all the way over to Haunted Mansion, you go forward in time by the architecture of the buildings. So, as a matter of fact, I think it's something like if you add 18 to the front of the number on each building, you will get the year of that construction or that style of construction as you walk through from Frontierland over towards the Haunted Mansion. That's a pretty cool little Easter egg that it takes a lot of thought in the Imagineering process. Over here in Liberty Square, there's also a couple of other little places for some grab-and-go type refreshment. You have a little popcorn stand over here right by the Liberty Bell. And in the center over, right before you get to Columbia Harbor House, you have the Liberty Square Market. That's where you can get your classic turkey leg and drinks. Turkey leg if you're into that sort of thing. That's where you find your massive turkey leg here. What makes them so massive? Well, they are legs from a male turkey, a tom turkey, and not a female, so they are bigger. No, they are not emu legs or anything else. They are turkey legs from male turkeys, and they are large. They're not my thing, but if you're into that, go for it. You can find them right here in Liberty Square. When you are in Liberty Square, pay close attention to the shutters. The shutters are not in disrepair. They don't need to be fixed. They are all hanging crooked on purpose. You can look right over here, even on the Ye Olde Christmas shop, on all of the buildings. Why, do you ask, are all of these purposely hanging crooked? Well, the answer is for historical accuracy. During this time all of the metal was needed to make bullets to fight the Revolutionary War and for the soldiers to have bullets. So they took the metal that was used to fasten the shutters to the houses and to the buildings, and they gave that over to the government to make bullets with. And so they used leather straps to attach the shutters to the houses and the buildings. And over time, as they would wear and get wet and open and close, they would obviously stretch, and the shutters would bend and twist and hang, and they would become crooked. So that's why you see crooked shutters on the buildings over here. No, it's not something that we need to fix. It's not like trash cans piling up or something like that, and we need to get things cleaned up. It is done for historical accuracy. So make sure you look around, look up, and you'll see all the little crooked shutters, and now you'll know why. The Diamond Horseshoe is one of 2 table service restaurants here in Liberty Square, and it is connected to the other one, which is Liberty Tree Tavern. Now, unfortunately, they both require a reservation, and I don't have a reservation today, but we can take a look at them and talk a little bit about them. So, like the Golden Horseshoe, the Liberty Tree Tavern, which I can recommend, is an all-you-care to enjoy or all-you-care to eat, sit-down, full-service table restaurant. I think it ranges between $39 and $49.99 per adult, depending on when you go. And it's a little less than that for kids, or maybe $49.99 for adults and $39.99 for kids. Chase, throw that up there in the video and give them the right price. But when you are taking a tour of Liberty Square, if you're going to spend a day here and you want something other than quick service, I don't know what's wrong with my camera, and you want something other than quick service, then I recommend the Liberty Tree Tavern. It is like a Thanksgiving-style dinner: turkey, mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, green beans, bread service, salad, all that stuff. And it's all you care to eat. And I really recommend the toffee and ice cream dessert at the end. That is worth the price of admission. All right, some more fun facts. The big, beautiful old tree in the middle of Liberty Square was really a big, beautiful pain in the butt. It is, first of all, when it was put here, it was over 135 years old and weighed over 35 tons. It had to be carefully transported. There was a Disney Imagineer who came up with the idea of how to drill holes in the roots of the tree and in the trunk to help keep it alive and transport it and readapt it into the ground safely. And they went through all that because they wanted a perfect colonial era looking tree here at Liberty Square, and so that's what you got. Another little tidbit with the tree is if you look close, there are lanterns hanging in the tree. There are 13 lanterns. Well, why do you think there are 13 lanterns in the tree? You don't have to be a former history teacher like me to guess that. There are 13 lanterns because there are 13 colonies. 13 original colonies, each one represented by a lantern in the tree in the middle of Liberty Square. Just another fun fact while you are on your guided tour here today of Liberty Square. All right, adventurers, that's about going to do it for AVA's guide to Walt Disney World Magic Kingdom Liberty Square. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you enjoy this series. I hope we shed some light on some different things, help you learn some new and fun things about each land, each thing that we cover in our AVA guides. And Liberty Square is full of history. It is also very unique because it is the only place here at Magic Kingdom that Liberty Square exists. You might find Tomorrowland, you find Frontierland at other Disney parks. You will only find Liberty Square at Magic Kingdom in Disney World. So it is a unique tour, it is a unique time, and I hope that you have enjoyed it. And until next time, this is Chase with American Vintage Adventures saying have a great AVA day. I hope you've enjoyed AVA's Guide to Liberty Square. I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.